Is there such thing as good loss? What is good about loss? What is good about the gut-wrenching feelings of failure, disappointment, and lost hope? As we look at the biblical story of Jesus, it seems weird to call the brutal execution of an innocent man good. The historical celebration of Good Friday, also known as Holy Friday, is a time to remember when the proclaimed Messiah, Jesus of Nazareth, was crucified in 33 AD. Jesus' death marked a sudden end to a growing movement of which his followers hoped would lead to freedom from their oppressors, both physical and spiritual. It was the ending of an improbable run. Let's take a look at it from a basketball perspective. Warning, this analogy is limited. Imagine your team has been struggling for years and finally a coach comes and miraculously starts to turn things around. The whole league is seeing the change, the potential, and the legitimate threat your team poses. Your team experiences some major wins and the overall confidence is up. You have hopes of making the playoffs, and some say you have a chance to take the number one spot, maybe even become champions. Coach seems to push all the right buttons and know the exact right plays and schemes. Coach has you putting in the best work you've ever done, and the team is seeing results. The playoffs are approaching, everything is coming to a culmination, and then coach is fired. Better yet, coach has run out of town for reasons you don't understand or were completely erroneous. None of it makes sense, and all the team can do is think, what are we supposed to do now? This is where the analogy becomes limited, so we'll stop here. We can all resonate with the feelings of loss and disappointment. I can only imagine the depth of pain and confusion Jesus' followers were going through at the time when he was arrested, tried, and nailed to the cross. But Jesus' words recorded in the book of John point to an ultimate good and purpose to come from his loss. He said in John 16:7, "Nevertheless, I tell you the truth, it is to your advantage that I go away." He further explains in John 16:20, "You will be sorrowful, but your sorrow will turn into joy." This is the good news. Amid loss, pain, and the bleak outlook of our circumstance, Jesus promised that sorrow will turn into joy. Now, does this mean that all things will immediately turn into championship rings and MVP trophies? No. In John 16:33, Jesus said, "In the world you will have tribulation." So things are going to be a struggle and loss will still come. But the hope and help that Jesus promised was also highlighted when he said, "Take heart, I have overcome the world." If you know the rest of the story, you know the life-giving miracle that follows the crucifixion. If you don't, read chapters 16 through 20 in the book of John. The reason we can call loss good on the Friday we remember or celebrate the crucifixion of Jesus is because Sunday was loading.